Coming up on DITV, I'll show you how a new Iowa City eatery is serving up their ice cream in a unique way.
And later, we'll have an update on what students can expect this coming semester.
We'll look back at Iowa Wrestling's busy winter break.
And one Hawkeye basketball player breaking records left and right.
It is a chilly start to this spring semester as I give you this week's weather.
All that and more coming your way on this Tuesday edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Alexis Tansey.
And I'm Christopher Cervantes. Welcome back from winter break, Hawkeyes.
On Friday, one man was charged after stealing 7 bottles of cologne from the Yonkers in Coralville. Marcus Pryor, the 42-year-old from Cedar Rapids, went over the counter and took the cologne in the early evening. The cologne is valued at nearly $700. Pryor was jailed after the incident and is now being charged with third-degree theft.
The state of Iowa will now be requiring ignition interlocks to contain cameras. An ignition interlock is a device installed on a motor vehicle if the vehicle owner is convicted of an alcohol-related violation. The vehicle owner must blow into the device and register below 0.08% blood alcohol content in order to start their vehicle. Iowa is adding cameras to these devices to ensure that drivers of the vehicle is in fact the one using the device. This camera requirement is set to begin is set to be placed by July.
For those of you just rolling into town for the spring semester, you might have missed the grand opening of Iowa City's newest ice cream shop. I went behind the counter with the owner this weekend to get the scoop.
Pop opened its doors to Iowa City residents last week to welcome them in from the cold and fed them something colder. Ice cream, of course, but the way this ice cream is made and served is anything but traditional.
It's a little bit lighter and probably a little colder actually, because it seems like it's a little bit more frozen but still easy to eat. It's different than any other ice cream I've had, but it's pretty good.
But it's not just the taste of the ice cream that brings in customers. Unlike traditional ice cream stores, Rolipop makes rolled ice cream right in front of their customers' eyes. They start with a cream base and pour that over the other ingredients on a metal plate kept at -14 degrees. Then they mix it together as it freezes so that the ingredients are spread evenly. The ice cream is then rolled into cylinders and served with fresh toppings. It may sound like a simple process, but I was able to get behind the counter and try it for myself. I promise it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, you can help me.
Yeah, so lift it from the bottom like that.
Okay.
And it's already freezing up, so
Right.
That's why we have to do it fast.
But with some practice and a lot of help from Rolipop owner Jack Herr, even I figured out how to roll the tasty treat.
Just keep going forward. You kind of use your body. There you go.
Okay.
All the ingredients used at Rolipop are fresh and free of preservatives. They even offer several gluten-free options so that everyone can enjoy their unique way of serving ice cream.
The fact that you can put your own toppings on, the fact that you can choose different flavors, that's the biggest part about why I opened up.
Rolipop is open from noon to 10 p.m. every day, so don't forget to roll in and try some. Reporting from the Sycamore Mall, Alexis Tansey, DITV News.
Alexis, if you ask me, I think you did a great job behind the counter, and I think I'm wondering, and I'm pretty sure our viewers are wondering, are you going to leave DITV to pursue this new career full-time?
Actually, my ice cream did not taste nearly as good as the ice cream they serve at Rolipop, but it was still fun to try it out.
Next time, let's go get some together. Don't leave me out, okay? Well, it's the first week of the new semester, and that means a lot of changes are coming to campus.
That's right, Chris, and a lot of those changes will be involved with our new theme this semester. Our reporter, Becca Scadden, is here in the studio to bring us more on that. Becca?
Thanks, guys, and welcome back to campus for all the students heading back to the University of Iowa today. And you're right, as we get back to campus, it is also time to welcome in our new theme for the spring 2018 semester. And this semester, the theme is Climate for Change. The focus will be to make the UI campus more sustainability focused. Specifically, activities and classes will have a focus on issues students will see in the future. These include destruction of natural resources, climate change, food and water insecurity, and a few others. A group made up of students and faculty from a wide variety of departments worked together to plan this semester and the events. There will be a lot of events coming up in the next couple of weeks. The first one is tonight at the Iowa City City Council meeting. The city is taking a big initiative in the theme semester by launching a joint declaration with the UI. Other events will be taking place all over campus throughout the rest of this semester. Stick with DITV in the upcoming weeks as we cover those events. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Becca. Alexis, issues like this are very important, and speaking of climate, I think Iowa City's climate is getting a little bit frosty, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was freezing today on my way to work, and I'm so ready for warm weather. Let's toss it over to Jahisha in the weather studio to see if this warm weather will come. Jahisha?
Thanks, guys. Well, make sure you guys wrap up real warm as temperatures continue to keep us on our toes with highs of only 13 degrees tonight and lows of 9. Then looking at our 5-day weather forecast, the upcoming week, the skies then begin to smile as we mostly see sunny skies on Wednesday morning with highs of 25 and lows of 18, and continuing to rise with highs of 33 degrees on Thursday and decreasing to 23 in the evening. And Friday afternoon, we get to see highs of 32 degrees, lowering to only 24 degrees at night. And coming into the weekend, we finally start to break into those 40-degree barriers as we hit 42 degrees on Saturday morning, with a slight consequence of some light rain heading into the evening, with lows of 38 degrees, and wrapping up the weekend with the warmest day of the week with 46 degrees on Sunday. However, we do get that rainfall throughout the day, tapering off then into 32 degrees as we reach the evening. So friends, it's still shockingly cold outside, so please, if you're okay with a little bit of rain, if it means reducing our chances of frostbite, then that's all good. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Jahisha. Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles came forward in a Twitter statement about being sexually abused by the USA gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar. Biles competed in the 2016 Rio Olympics and finished with 4 gold medals. Biles said in a statement on Twitter, quote, "This behavior is completely unacceptable, disgusting, and abusive, especially from someone I was told to trust," end quote. Nassar worked as a sports doctor at Michigan State University from 1997 to 2016 and began work with the Olympic gymnastics team in 2000. The members of the team, including gold medalist Gabby Douglas and Aly Raisman, expressed being forced into silence by USA Gymnastics and other institutions. Nassar pleaded guilty to 7 counts of sexual misconduct and will face sentencing on Tuesday. Nassar is currently facing 40 to 125 years in prison.
As the 2018 Pyongyang Winter Olympics near, North Korea has announced that they will be sending a delegation to the Games in South Korea. This move by the North Korean government helps to ease months of tension after the two countries were strained over North Korea's nuclear program. While the Koreas are still technically at war after the 1950 Korean War ended in ceasefire, the 2018 Games will be seen as a time of unity. The two countries are still discussing plans for what North Korea's exact delegation will be. The Winter Olympics open on Friday, February 9th. Well, the Olympics are on their way, but Iowa has some athletic news of their own.
That's right, Alexis. A little birdie told me that we have some interesting news in the world of wrestling, but I don't trust little birdies, I trust Hawkeyes. Let's toss it over to Bo and Lucy in the sports studio to get the lowdown.
That's right, Chris. I've had the pleasure of covering the Iowa wrestling team here over break. And while some of you may have been taking some well-deserved R&R over winter break, the Hawkeye wrestling team kept busy.
And they stayed fairly successful, keeping their undefeated dual record intact.
Let's get started this morning by taking a look at some of their highlights.
The Hawks traveled to Northwestern in late December for the Ken Craft Midlands Championships, where they crowned 5 champions, and 149-pounder Brandon Sorensen won his 3rd Midlands Championship.
I think it was good. You know, I had some good things. I kind of, opened the gap for one of the opponents that I had a little earlier this year, and but there's also a couple where I thought I could do better and I could widen that margin. So, good. Did some good things. Got some things to work on.
Iowa scored 156.5 points, which was more than enough to bring home the team title. That next week, freshman phenom Spencer Lee pulled his red shirt and was put into the lineup at 125 pounds.
I mean, this seemed like the best time. I mean, we don't want to wait. I mean, there's no point in waiting. You might as well go out there and get some matches in. Wrestle the Hawkeye singlet.
Lee wrestled his first match as a Hawk in Carver Hawkeye Arena against Michigan State on January 5th, pinning his opponent in 46 seconds. Speaking of Carver, the arena played host to one of the biggest rivalries in college wrestling and did not disappoint. Over 13,000 fans filled Carver when the Hawks hosted the number 3 ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys. Brandon Sorensen with another huge win, earning a technical fall for the Hawks, who walked out with an upset victory by a score of 20-12.
We pointed to this. We had success. We won some tough matches. There's some good things that happened there. We got to get ready to go to Columbus on a week from today. And, you know, you don't congratulate yourself many times in January. Maybe this is one time where you take a little bit of a breath because we did point to this duel.
The Hawks will travel to Columbus this weekend to take on the top-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes.
So, Bo, it looks like it was a pretty successful winter break for the Hawks, but they've got a tough schedule coming up.
That's right. Ohio State this weekend, Michigan after that at home, and they're strong this year, and of course the perennial powerhouse Penn State coming up in February.
It's going to be a tough stretch for them. But moving on to the women's basketball team, yesterday junior Megan Gustafson was named the Big Ten Co-Player of the Week. This makes it her 6th Player of the Week award this season.
That ties a single-season record for the Big Ten. Gustafson had been recognized by the conference every week this season. Currently, she's ranked in the top 10 in 9 of the nation's different categories, including double-doubles and field goals made.
Speaking of the women's basketball team, they've been off to a pretty good start this season.
Yeah, 15-3 overall, 3-2 in the Big Ten, coming off that loss to Purdue this weekend.
DITV's Natalie Accapetti caught up with the players and coaches after their game.
The Iowa women's basketball team took on Purdue this past Saturday as they continued their Big Ten competition, but sadly could not come up with a win against the Boilermakers, losing 76-70.
Well, our mentality all season has been next play, and that's what we're trying to focus on tonight, but it seemed like our focus wasn't always there on defense. Just a few lapses in communication, not being able to find keys on the court. Just a few things that we can fix, though.
The Hawkeyes were led by junior Megan Gustafson, who had a career high of 37 points, along with 14 rebounds. Gustafson is currently ranked top 10 in the nation in 9 different categories.
I thought our crowd was fabulous. They really got into it for us. But, you know, midway through the second quarter, Purdue, I thought, took control of the game, and our defensive intensity just wasn't what it needed to be.
With a season-high attendance of 7,400 in Carver, throughout the entire game, the Hawks had their fans standing on their feet. Purdue finished the game with a 9-0 run to get their first win in Iowa City since 2008 and gave the Hawkeyes their 3rd loss of the season.
It was a tough loss tonight, but I think that the most important thing is just to stay optimistic and stay positive. Even though our defense wasn't there tonight, doesn't mean it can't be there for the rest of the week going into these 2 road games. And so get back at it, you know, practice tomorrow, and so just keeping that focus.
The Hawkeyes are currently 3-2 in conference play and 15-3 overall. Reporting for Iowa women's basketball from Carver Hawkeye Arena, I'm Natalie Accapetti with DITV Sports.
Gustafson and the Hawkeyes will hit the road for a 2-game stretch against Nebraska tonight and then Minnesota on Sunday.
Well, that's all we have for you in the sports studio today. Tune in tomorrow to find out how the women do tonight in their game against the Huskers.
And we'll have an inside look at the Iowa track and field team's upcoming season. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Thanks, guys. CVS Pharmacy is taking a new approach to marketing for its beauty products. The nation's largest drugstore chain announced on Monday that they will stop retouching models in a material way.
That's right, Alexis. CVS plans to have this spread across ads for all store brand beauty products by 2020. To bring some transparency to CVS's marketing, the company plans to add a watermark, as CVS is calling it, a beauty mark, to the images that have not been significantly retouched. Alexis, quick question. Do I need retouching at all?
Oh, not at all, Chris. You look fine.
Good. Neither do you. We're both amazing.
That's all we have for you on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all the latest news between Monday and Friday.
If that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on Stands Now.
For DITV, I'm Christopher Cervantes.
And I'm Alexis Tansey. Have a good day, Iowa City, and good luck on the upcoming semester.